Heart first leadership isn't what you say, it's how you show up, how you regulate, how you communicate, and how you execute when it matters most. We are Heidi and Ryan Sawyer, and you are listening to the Heart First Leadership Podcast.
Welcome back to the show. Here we are. Here you are. Here I am.
Here we are.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Today's the last day of school for the kids.
Last day of school for the kiddos. Summer is here. Yay, they're home every day.
Yeah, a lot of parents are feeling that way right now. It's like, okay, how are we going to keep these kids busy and entertained for the next 3 months?
I love my children. I just love it when they go to school too.
Yep. Absence does make the heart grow fonder sometimes.
And that's okay. But we're gonna lean in and embrace it. So today we're actually going to talk about the kids a little bit. We're going to do a podcast about, and this could be multi-faceted conversation. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about, but we are going to talk about happiness.
Yep.
And this is the preface to the idea. Everything in our house right now is like, ooh, that's a good podcast idea. Our kids will even do that, right? Where they're like, we'll be talking about something, we'll be in conversation, and Haley goes, that's a podcast idea, Dad. And I'm like, yeah, it is, honey.
Add it to the list.
So this is what happened the other day, maybe a couple weeks ago. Haley woke up in the morning, and our kids are kind of early risers, but she's kind of, getting herself ready for the day. I think it was a Saturday. And she just turns to me, Dad. He goes, Dad, I'm so happy. And so that's beautiful when you hear that coming from your kids. But the real conversation comes from what happened inside of me when she tells me she's so happy. My immediate impulse was, why? Almost a little bit judgy. Why? And then I thought, why does she need a reason? Why am I about to ask her why? Well, tell me why, honey. Why are you so happy?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, that's the story. Why am I so happy? Anyway, so, that's the interesting piece. And what if we didn't need a reason? What if we stopped looking for all these reasons that we thought were going to make us happy? And then happiness was something that we then got to experience more of.
Mm-hmm. That makes me think of the law of polarity, right? Like if one exists, the opposite exists. So if I have a story around what it takes for me to be happy, then that means if I don't have that thing happening, then I'm not going to be happy. Because if I believe that my happiness is attached to something, then my unhappiness is also attached to something.
It's attached to the lack of the thing.
Right.
Right, is what you're saying.
Yep, exactly. But I do love that. It's like, I think that is our natural inclination to say, oh, well, what is it that's making you happy? And to try to help them learn how to look externally for what is creating the feeling, because that's how we've all been conditioned. That's how we've all been brought up. That is the norm in our culture, is to kind of, okay, something's the matter or something's good. Why? And I think that's
it's not going to last.
Right. So, and how can I make that feeling stay by tying it to something else?
Yeah. How can I? It's my clean grasp. So here's what I did when she said that to me. I recognized my mind wanted some sort of external thing, or I want her to explain what the external thing was. What did I do yesterday, honey, that made you, or what can I keep doing that's going to make you keep feeling happy, right?
Mm-hmm. As parents, we want our kids
we want our kids to be happy. And I think that's what we ultimately want, is a sense of freedom and happiness and fulfillment. Like, this is something we all desire. So I got really, really curious about it. But I noticed my mind going outward there, out to external things. And so I caught myself and I came back in. I said, "Oh, tell me more about that. Where do you feel that, Haley?" And then what is it you feel? Describe it to me, right? And so she was able. It's in my heart, Dada, and it's really warm. And she went into this whole thing, right? She's 9 and she still sometimes, has a little bit of baby in her, just a little bit of baby.
We're holding on to that.
Yeah. And
a cute thing yesterday, we went on a walk and she had a stuffed animal and she tied the stuffed animal to the front of her scooter, like one of these little Beanie Baby stuffed animals. And we just looked at each other and we're like, oh, she's still like a baby for a little bit longer.
A few more days.
Yeah.
With the little cat ears on her helmet. Anyway, so I then followed that up when she explained to me what it felt like and where she felt it. I said, well, where do you feel that? And what do you feel? And I said, isn't it beautiful that you don't need a reason to be happy? And then she just kind of bounced away and was like, yep.
Mm-hmm. That's profound, though.
It's a natural state.
Yeah.
If we're not in the way.
Yeah.
If we don't have all kinds of preferences of how things should or shouldn't be. Right. And we're just on our path. I believe that happiness is something that spontaneously arrives.
Mm-hmm.
And I use this word spontaneous a lot these days. I don't know if you noticed that in my videos and everything.
You use it spontaneously.
Spontaneous. I use the word spontaneous. But the reality is, I believe that's how this whole thing works. And I'm not sitting here telling you guys, this is not a teaching podcast. This is a discovery podcast.
Yeah.
This is something where we're sitting here having a conversation going, let's have a conversation about it. Let's just hit record and then let's see what comes of it. But, it's about being on the path. It's about, for me, it's about pursuit, right? Pursuit of a worthy ideal, of a purpose. It's about living life with a sense of principle and recognizing where there's progress in my life and kind of tracking through that and staying in that experience and seeing how every single thing is leading to the next. And then I have these moments when I'm on the back porch and the sun's coming up where I'm like, wow, I think I'm happy.
Yeah. Which having
I think I am
struggled with so much of that in the past. It's like, okay, wow, this is just happening and I'm not having to try to force something. It makes me think of that movie, The Pursuit of Happiness. So much of what happened in that
Will Smith.
Yeah. So much of what happened in that movie was like his evolution, his growth, him believing in himself, him going after a worthy pursuit, to make a better life I think it was for him and his son, right?
It was his son. Yeah. There were
Yeah. I mean,
left him and he was trying to sell these like X-ray machines or something.
Like a computer or something. Yeah. But the happiness spontaneously happens, like what we're calling happiness, right? This feeling, this desire that we're all after.
It's an experience.
It's an experience, but it's also like it's a culmination of that having connection, having meaning, having purpose, all of those things. And that comes through doing the work. It comes through working towards a worthy ideal, towards something that you care about. And then and happiness is just kind of a byproduct of that. It's not really something that you can change.
Yeah. So let's unpack that for a minute. When we say worthy ideal, we use that a lot. And I'm not sure that we understand, or not we, but out there, we understand what that means. So maybe give me a minute, would you? And explain to me, for you, when you hear me say worthy ideal, or when you use that worthy ideal, what are you speaking of?
Well, the worthy ideal is really who we get to become along the way. It's more than actually what the challenge is that we're taking on. So, for example, doing this podcast, this is the process of becoming a worthy ideal of myself, because I'm putting myself out here. I'm showing up with confidence. I'm maybe doing it sometimes on days where I don't really feel like it, but I'm finding that within myself to be of service to other people, to share, what I've learned along my journey, so that hopefully somebody else can see themselves in what I'm sharing, if that makes sense. So it's me showing up, doing the work to become the best version of myself in service to others.
So are you able to even define, because I'm going to go back, pause, rewind. So first of all, I just had an experience where legitimately I could predict every single word that was coming at me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's
It was awesome.
Lucky.
A little bit. But it was beautiful because I'm like, I don't think I could have explained that better. So
Nice.
nice job. So when you think of this version of yourself that you want to become, do you have a clear picture? Can you illustrate it? Can you explain it to somebody? Can you actually, or even maybe like explain it to yourself at the very least?
Yeah, I have a clear enough picture without being super attached to what that's going to look like when I don't want to say when I get there because there's no there. It's going to be a constant unfolding.
Yeah.
I think if you've been on the planet long enough and you've been through enough things in your life, you realize like every time you think you're at the top of the mountain, you're not. You just look up and it gets a little bit higher. So for me, what that looks like, I feel like I'm stepping into it more and more every day and it's unfolding, but it is being able to share. It's just being able to authentically show up as myself without the, I spent a lot of time in my life worried about what other people thought about me, worried about if I sounded stupid, if I looked good enough, if I fit in, if people liked me, all the things that as human beings, we want to have this sense of belonging. And I think that's natural. But I feel that in my life, I let that override a lot of my desires for what I wanted to do. And I let that kind of paralyze me and hold me back from showing up and hold me back from stepping into the version of myself that can have the experiences that I want to have. And so it's like, it is a shedding of layers of that. It's like stepping out and going, oh, okay, I did that. I didn't die. It's okay. So it's like this constant process of that. But I don't know what she looks like, my future self, in such detail that there's not room for flexibility within it, but I have a pretty good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's take this conversation a bit deeper because this is how we're able to stay on a path where progress on a path of progression that leads to progress, that leads towards a spontaneous happiness, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
So there's two worlds that we live in. There's the external world and the internal world. We can build a worthy ideal in either world externally.
Yeah.
That we have a certain business model. We're coaches. We're podcasters. Here we are doing our thing, right? Cool. That's great. That's the external, right?
Yeah. For me, it was like what I looked like and what,
or that's also external,
being in shape and that kind of thing.
Also,
right?
external, right? I have, I'm fit, lean,
right?
Whatever, right? Okay. Still all external. We want to start with an internal worthy ideal. An experience of being ourselves, right? If you can imagine if you had everything you wanted and you thought you wanted, and you had this level of just confidence and calm and clarity, right? You had this level of presence. You were able to let go and easily transition. You're able to really connect with yourself and others. And like, I want you all to, as you're listening, to really kind of like try that on for a minute. Just imagine a life or a version of you where life seems to flow through you rather than happening to you. You don't get caught up in things that aren't necessary or important.
Right.
You focus on the right things. You, on a daily basis, do all the things that are good for you, that help you to move forward in life and help you to grow and evolve and help you to connect with those that you love the most, and that you're able to look back on your life and you're able to say, like, I did it, right? I connected. I was there. I was present. I'm happy.
Yeah.
And everything I just said had nothing to do with money, had nothing to do with my body type, had nothing to do with a certain business model, vehicle, home, the beach, whatever.
Whether or not people liked you or approved of you and all those things. Right.
Even this morning, I was journaling, and actually it's right here. I'm going to pull it up. Even just this morning, I was journaling, and I do this pretty much every morning where I just kind of let myself write freely with kind of an epic thought, right? And sometimes when I do this, I tend to, even with the work that I do, I tend to become very outwardly focused. I tend to like talk about, well, and the company is doing this, and there's this amount of financial reward, and
right.
and you and I have talked about someday living on the beach and all these things. That's all vision board worthy ideals. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. And if you want to attach the internal domain to the external domain, or the inner world to the outer world in that fashion, you can. But I think you are stifling your growth, and you're not allowing for yourself to be as flexible, and you're actually probably keeping yourself from experiencing what you actually want right here and right now.
Yeah, because you're attaching it to something out there, like way out there that you need to get to.
So if you come back and you simplify it, one of Christy, if you're listening, one of our coaches who's working with us, sent a message to the team the other day. So we have a team of coaches we work with, right? And Chrissy sent this message saying, enjoy your life, look for the good, and simplify, right? So I did a journaling about that. And this morning, it really came out of me when I realized, like, my number one objective is to evolve, is to transcend, is to evolve my consciousness, right? To have a greater level of perception and value in my life, so where I see the things that are good.
Yeah.
So I naturally see good things. I naturally enjoy. I spontaneously have moments of peace and love and joy and these things, right? And connection, right? And then to teach others. And if I were to break it down to that simple worthy ideal, then my worthy ideal is to become a better version of myself tomorrow than I am today. Yeah. To continue to grow, to evolve, to heal, to expand my consciousness, right? Does it matter whether I'm a podcaster, coach, speaker, author, or I'm painting houses for a living?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And then I allow for there to be multiple ways and flexibility of how I'm able to stay that path. And then if I decide to go down a specific path, I still stay centered and grounded in that being my number one priority. So like, I didn't plan this. I didn't plan to have journaled about this and then bring this back up today, but it was legitimate, like this recentering for me. And I was just on a call this morning. I was telling a handful of clients about how I still have to continuously check myself to come back in here and to stop relating my sense of being okay or good enough or worthy or adequate or lovable or happy with my external experiences. And every single time that I do that, like, there is this incredible well of peace, of joy, of enoughness, of freedom that I would, let's call it the word happy. Let's call it the word happy. Why? Because I'm very clear about what my worthy ideal in here is. And then allows for flexibility out there, how I'm going to continue to stay that path.
And
so that's,
are you going to read the journal, or are you?
I can, if you want me to. I don't even, not sure what it says.
You can share it with me after. I'd love to hear. But something I want to highlight about what we're just talking about is when you start to create that internal domain that is independent from your external circumstances, right? When you decide, this is who it is that I want to be, this is who I'm choosing to be, this is who I am right now. I'm a person who sees the good in things. I'm a person who, finds peace within myself. I'm a person who's here to make a difference. And what that looks like is really none of my business, right? It's leave that to the universe. So, or God, or however you want to phrase that.
To the creative intelligence.
Right. To creative intelligence.
That's the highest path of letting go. Yeah.
So when you do that, and when you tap into that feeling, that is the language of creation. is feeling. And so I'm not going to get off in a huge manifestation tangent here, but what I want to say about that is that spontaneously, the thing that will become the vehicle for you to feel more and more of that, for you to fulfill that worthy ideal of who you're wanting to become and who you're stepping into and the way that you're interacting in the world, it will show up. Someone will say, hey, I have an opportunity. Hey, could you come speak to my group? Hey, can you come do this? Can you come do that?
Yep.
What do I need to do to, I just had somebody reach out yesterday. What do I need to do to work with you? Like, what are the programs? What are the options? What do I do next?
Yep. They're ready.
And because they're ready and you're putting out that vibration of being the person that you're here to be and living into that worthy ideal. And then the rest of the things, yes, there's mechanical outputs. There's things that you do in the world to let people know that you're available for those things, but it will spontaneously come to you. That's the beauty of it. We are all leaders. If you're ready to stop waiting and start impacting your environment in a powerful way, we want to connect with you. Click the Book Now link in the show notes to book a call with a Heart First coach and discover what Heart First leadership can look like in your life and in your environment. Now back to the show.
Yeah. So you mentioned this like inner experience with this feeling, like we call it the inner domain experience, right? That with that worthy ideal, you need to explore this a little bit. Like there's an energetic address. I don't know who said that. I'm not coining that. Somebody out there in the world, in the coaching world or consciousness world says that. So if you know who it is, let me know. But there's an energetic address to your worthy ideal, your future self, you can call it, right? And it feels a certain way. That's what you're talking about. And that coupled with a clear intention of, so a feeling, an elevated emotion with a clear intention, like this creates a certain signal. Radio station.
Yeah.
I don't know if it makes that noise, but it creates a signal going out, which then it creates a tractor beam coming back in.
Yeah.
And that kind of resonates from our hearts. And so we create this, we see the end, right? We start with the end before we begin. We create this level of clarity that what is it that I want to experience internally? Who is it that I want to become? Right. And then I can go to work out there.
Right. Doing the mechanical output, doing the tasks,
doing the things.
Right.
Whether it be recording a podcast or whether it be digging a ditch, doesn't matter. Right. Does not matter. There's not one that's better than the other.
Yep.
Not one is above the other. It's about being your specialty role, being in what makes you unique. This is how my journal started this morning. My path is unique and is beautiful. Right?
That's right. You listening, your path is unique and it's beautiful. So.
Your path is unique and you are beautiful. Right? And make your main focus creating a safe environment of growth within yourself to heal, to evolve, to grow. And how you do that out there, really, does not matter all that much. I know we think it matters, but when we make that the focus, then we will probably tend to attract new and different opportunities out there that are a little bit more shiny potentially, right?
Well, and things you might have never thought of.
Yeah, things that would be better than you ever could have imagined. But keeping that main thing, the main thing, and then leaning into creating, like actually tangibly going through the experiences, the challenges, what we call worthy challenges, overcoming the obstacles that allow for you to create that worthy ideal, right? So progress towards that worthy ideal.
Yeah. This is all what we're doing with, we have a group. Once you go through Integrated Mindset, which is our signature program, once you're an integrated mindset graduate, you have opportunities to be involved in other groups that we have And one is called integrated mindset. I am momentum. And in momentum, we really focus on your worthy ideal. And what's great is the people that are in there with us right now, they have the foundation of all the tools that they've learned in integrated mindset. And they've been able to kind of create space through doing that work and do some healing and do some, kind of recreating of themselves through doing the integrated mindset program. And now they're really in a place where they want to create that momentum in their life towards the worthy ideal and towards those worthy challenges that are going to help move them into a space of really becoming who they're here to be and vibrating at that level that attracts those things that they want to create and have more experience of that in their life. So that's something we're doing a lot of right now with our
let's bring this conversation. A word that I wrote down that stuck out to me when you were talking, when I asked you about worthy ideal and you were explaining it to me, a word that you said at least once, if not twice, that was like, boom, I go, there it is. I don't remember me saying is authentic. Now, authentic to who you desire to be is authenticity, you guys. People have to go, I'm being authentic to me. I'm not talking about being authentic to who you were conditioned to be yesterday.
Right.
Okay. Based upon your past experiences about what survival mechanisms worked for you yesterday. I'm talking about if you close your eyes and you said, I can be anybody who I want to be, right? You're the burning desire for you to experience yourself in the most magnificent fashion that you can imagine. This is who you're meant to be, right? And now us creating a path and community to progress towards that, to make progress towards that with principle, with a level of passion, but pursuit towards that worthy ideal, right? Because who you desire to be is who you authentically are meant to be. It's who you came here to be.
Yeah.
Right.
If the dream is in your heart, it's for you.
And
right.
That's is authenticity. Right. That is authenticity. And so if you're authentically on a path of pursuing the clarity and the experience of your authentic, people call it the true self, whatever it is, like we're not going to go down that whole consciousness, big eye, little I, big self, little self, whatever, all the different terminology that people have in different traditions. But in all reality is it's in there. You know you want it and you deserve it. And if you're on the path of uncovering it, realizing it, and creating it, you're going to find happiness and you don't need a reason. You don't need a reason externally to feel that way. It is your God-given birthright, right? And when you see a 9-year-old on a pursuit of joy and of experiencing life and taking on new things, and she's naturally in this environment where we naturally challenge ourselves, we naturally do things that help us to grow and evolve, and she's just like, I'm so happy. And then this morning, our son, who's 10, said the exact same thing. Dad, I'm so happy. Right. And because they're exploring themselves. It has nothing to do with us. They're exploring themselves. And they're leaning into that. And they're being curious about what their worthy ideal is. Who, if they were being the best version of themselves, who could that be? Right? Who could that be? And then now taking one step today towards that authentic self.
And asking yourself those questions too, like the best version of myself, my most authentic self, not the self that was conditioned by my past experiences or fears or all of these things, but the self that I truly am here to be. How does that person show up in the world? How does that person treat other people? How does that person give their effort in a situation? You know, like today, small example, I was at my workout class and I thought, I'm going all in. I'm going all in and I want to see what my best looks like. And man, it feels so good to give your best. And even if your best isn't necessarily where you ultimately want to be, do your best for today and you'll find happiness in that.
And then you'll do better tomorrow.
and you'll do better tomorrow. And like the last episode, one of the last episodes we did, incremental shifts, just focus on just getting a little bit more in alignment with who you're here to be, a little bit more in alignment every single day. And you'll start finding yourself waking up and going, I'm happy. Yeah. It's a beautiful
So you
thing.
don't need a reason to be happy, but you do need to be on a pursuit towards your authentic, true, desired self.
Yeah. And if you have resistance to that thought, I don't need a reason to be happy. Oh my gosh, what a wonderful opportunity to explore that. Yeah.
Awesome. Anything you want to add here? Any takeaways or things you want?
I just want to tell you I'm happy.
Good. That's good. I love it. That's awesome.
And I appreciate you. And we love and appreciate you guys for listening to the podcast. And just want to invite you to share it. Share it with somebody who you think could benefit from it. Write a review. That means the world to us, and it helps more people see the show. So we appreciate you, and thank you for listening, being here.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for listening. Remember, leaders go first. Alignment matters. And the environment that you create is the legacy you'll leave. We'll see you on the next episode.